Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Amolo Odinga is making certain political moves in Gusii region, which is causing serious political headache for Kenya Kwanza and William Ruto in particular. On 3rd of June this month, Raila Amolo Odinga attended a football match between Shabana FC and Kibra Black Stars. When we talk of Shabana FC, Gusii as a region normally rally around that team. It's like Gor Mahia and AFC. Gor Mahia to Luo and AFC to the Luya nation. Then when you talk of Kibra, what comes to your mind is Kibra politics. And of course, Kibra is Raila Odinga's bedroom. And from the reaction, from the way Raila Odinga was received and the attendance of that particular event clearly shows that it had certain political objectives. Then 2 days ago, Raila Amolo Odinga also held another meeting with the Gusii leaders in Nairobi, Orange House. That meeting is also significant politically speaking. So in this video, I want us to look at Raila Odinga's latest moves, the objectives that they are intended to achieve. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Without any further ado, please let us dive in. And why is Gusii politics important for Raila Amolo Odinga? For me, Raila Odinga has to do 3 things as a matter of urgency. The first thing Raila Odinga needs to do is to ensure that his strongholds remains intact. And in this country, you can clearly tell Raila Odinga's strongholds. We are talking of the Gusii, we are talking of the Luya, we are talking of the Coast, we are talking of the Luo, we are talking of the Maasai, and which other? Northern Kenya. He must ensure, because we still don't know whether Raila Odinga will be on the ballot or not. And even if he won't be on the ballot, whether those strongholds will be able to move with him to support the new candidate. In this case, I'm assuming Kalonzo Musyoka. The other thing which Raila Odinga must do is that he must ensure that his party ODM in 2027 will attract high-profile aspirants. Because without high-profile aspirants, it will be nothing, whether it's going to be the presidential candidate or not. I will not want a situation where Raila Odinga falls for what Uhuru Kenyatta is currently experiencing, where he's not a presidential candidate and his party is also not winning seats. So Raila Odinga will need a strong ODM party. That can only be possible if the party can attract high-profile individuals who can then end up winning. And the other thing is that Raila Odinga must also sustain visibility. So for me, those are some of the reasons why Raila Odinga actually went for that Shabana Kibra football match. And is Kisii region or Gusii region Raila Odinga's stronghold? That's another question that we must ask ourselves and answer. If you ask me, Gusii region is Raila Odinga's stronghold based on the last general election figures. In 2017, if you asked me that question, I would not say so, because the presidential results for Nyamira, for example, was in favor of Uhuru. And the presidential results for Kisii in 2017 was in favor of Raila. Raila had, I think, 50-something% in Kisii. In Nyamira, Uhuru had 50-something, Raila had 40-something. And in the last election, if you look at the figures, because figures don't lie, if you look at figures, in Kisii, Raila Odinga had 265,000 against William Ruto 134,000. That means Raila Odinga had 65% of the votes. Ruto had 34%. If you go to Nyamira in the last election, Raila Odinga had 129,000 votes against William Ruto's 78%, which means Raila Odinga had 62%. That qualifies Gusii region to be Raila Odinga's stronghold. And of course, in 2017, for example, in Kisii, Raila Odinga's party, ODM party, never won a single seat for parliamentarian. Then in the last election, if you look at Kisii, for example, Raila Odinga won 3 constituencies, UDA 3, and the rest were parties which were allied to Azimio. In Nyamira, Raila Odinga, ODM had 3, I think 2 MPs and 1 Jubilee, and then there was UDA 1. So which means Gusii region, strictly speaking, based on the figures, is Raila Odinga's strongholds. And that can explain why he's making those moves. But what is his objective of going into Kisii politics? Because I tend to think that Kisii is proving to be significant for Raila Odinga. Number one, why Raila Odinga is making these moves is that he is planning to reactivate the grassroots network. The truth of the matter is that if you look at Kisii politics, there are several dynamics. And that can explain why in 2017, despite the fact that Raila Odinga won the presidential votes, he never got members of parliament. So I tend to think that Raila Odinga is now deciding that for him to succeed in Kisii, he must reactivate the ODM grassroots networks, because his calculations are not adding up. Raila Odinga had anticipated that by bringing the governor, Simba Arati, from Nairobi to Kisii, he was going to solve that problem because he trusted Arati. But once Arati was sworn in, he started now working very closely with William Ruto. And I think I did a video here that he was going to regret, because William Ruto has his candidate for the gubernatorial seat in 2027. And that is Silvanus Osoro. Already they are fighting. So Raila Odinga doesn't want a situation where he's going to be bogged down by Arati or bogged down by Onyonka. Onyonka is now a very strong pillar in Raila Odinga circles, because Onyonka is also planning to run for the gubernatorial seat on ODM ticket. So if the situations will change, then it means Raila Odinga is going to face a situation where he is going to have Onyonka on another political party, Arati on another political party. Then it means for ODM to succeed, he needs to deal with the grassroots networks. And that is what he's trying to reactivate. By going to attend that Shabana, by going to attend that Shabana tournament, what Raila Odinga is trying to do is trying to reconnect directly with the grassroots. So that's number one. Number two, if you ask me, I also tend to think that Raila Odinga is now trying to counter William Ruto's moves in Kisii. If there's any gain which William Ruto has made since he was declared the president, he's trying to counter. Because if you've been following Kisii politics, previously Raila Odinga depended on 2 key individuals: the governor, former governor James Ongwae, and the former senator and women rep for Kisii, Janet Ongera. After the last election, because Ongera and Ongwae had a different idea on who ought to have been the governor, they fell out and those guys left. So which means Raila Odinga is now feeling that he needs to counter some of those moves. If Ongera left, who is going to fill in that? If Ongwae left and their team, who is going to to fill in. So if there are certain gains which William Ruto is trying to make, if is gaining grounds in Kisii, what are some of the grounds for him to gain? So is Raila Odinga is basically making the moves to counter William Ruto's gains in Kisii. Number three, I also try to think that based on what I'm observing, Raila Odinga is currently keen on trying to revive the ODM visibility, especially in his strongholds. Kisii, Nairobi, Mombasa. Just today, I've seen ODM trying to reactivate its networks also in Migori. If you ask me, Raila Odinga needs the ODM visibility. And the question is, why would Raila Odinga try now to make ODM more visible? In the last election, what was visible was Azimio, the blue. ODM was iliwekwa kando. Why do you think Raila Odinga is trying to make ODM more visible? Maybe two things. Maybe he's trying to revive ODM so that he can be a candidate again. Or maybe he wants to re-energize ODM party so that in case of a coalition, ODM will stand as ODM party. Maybe, politics is a game of numbers. He wants ODM to position itself, gain more numbers in parliament, senators. That can only be possible if ODM is visible, especially in its strongholds. Number four, I also tend to think that Raila Odinga is actually trying to checkmate members of parliament from Gusii region. Those who are planning to go to Kenya Kwanza, he's checkmating them. The other day I saw one of the guys called Momanyi at Bunge la Wananchi. The guy just walked to Bunge la Wananchi. He delivered a speech there, and I concluded that Raila is doing something. And I concluded that that's about checkmating by that gentleman who is not a member of parliament, making that appearance, standing in solidarity with Bunge la Wananchi, who are known to ally with Raila Odinga. It clearly shows that Raila Odinga is trying to checkmate, so that if you feel you can leave, then leave, but know there's someone somewhere. And I also tend to think, number five, that Raila Odinga is already identifying candidates for various seats in Kisii early enough. And one of the areas is actually Nairobi. Elashi, the Dagoretti North, is it, member of parliament, is currently in bed with the Kenya Kwanza. She won that seat courtesy of ODM, courtesy of the Kisii, because that seat was previously being held by Arati. As we speak, there is no elected member of parliament from the Gusii region in Nairobi. Fact. So do you think these leaders from Gusii region met Raila Odinga and they did not discuss Nairobi? Is it possible? No. Do you want to tell me that amongst these people, there was nobody who is interested in a political seat through ODM party in 2027, sorry. So Raila Odinga is already scheming. Whether those schemes are going to succeed, something which I don't know and I cannot tell at this particular time. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.